No muddy pits. Nice. Storm's moving out. There you go.
Now my pants are gonna fall down.
Now Dad's gonna lose his pants. Be careful, don't fall. Oh, yeah. Watch his feet.
Wire it and Dad said, I talked to your dad a couple weeks ago about I don't remember what, you know, but I called him and I had a question. But it's like, dang, working with his runoff. Trying something. Hopefully it works. Starting line's still a little wet, so we're gonna move clean over to the left. Hopefully get a dry spot and see how that goes. If you will, after they do their burnout, see if there's anything there. If so, pull me in that, but if not, pull me over. first pass, we get Dave Gebauer, I think is how it's, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I never have. I've heard it several times. I've been told how to pronounce it. I just can't do it. So I go up. Jason gets the puddle poured, pulls me up in. I go to do the burnout. The car don't do a burnout. I don't know why it won't do a burnout. So he backed me up. Tried it again. It didn't do it again. It felt to me in the car like it didn't even do the little spinning that it did. So I ended up turning on the nitrous kit to do a burnout. And that's the only way that I got a burnout. The car would not do a burnout. I don't know if it's got too much or not enough RPM. I don't know. It's like the surface had a lot of bite, but it didn't have any bite. So it took me a long time to get ready. Dave sat there for a little while. After the race, he come over and told me that he didn't spray because his car was 210 degrees sitting on the line from where it took me so long. Essentially, he said I burned him down. I felt bad about that because it did take me a long time. And in the end, looking back on it, I was off all night. I couldn't get my head together. I made several mistakes. That wasn't necessarily one of the mistakes. The car just wouldn't do a burnout. So he said I melted him down. I didn't contest it. I offered to rerun it if D-Team would let us. And he said no. He didn't want to rerun it, yada, yada, yada. I did offer to rerun it because I felt bad.
We did look back at the video.
Yeah, we did look back at the video, and like he sat there for a minute, but these cars should be able to not overheat that soon. Like, I'm over here struggling doing nitrous, trying to do a nitrous burnout and everything, and my car was fine. And I'm not going to go a whole lot into that, but I felt like the car shouldn't have been 210 degrees at that point. He was sitting over there revving it up and everything.
And we don't know what else maybe was going on with this car.
Yeah, maybe there was something else going on. So I didn't get a good burnout anyway. That pass was horrible. I forgot to turn the shifter on. As you can notice, it's extremely high RPM, and then whenever I realized that the shifter wasn't on, I reached over to smack the shifter, and when I did, it went into neutral, and that's the popping in flames at the end. So I let off at that point and coasted through the finish line. Like I said, I was extremely off. The whole day was just odd. Getting there, I didn't have a fan on the car that worked, so I had to take a detour over to Summit, pick up a fan.
We also didn't have our full crew there.
Didn't have the full crew there. Jason and Brian did a great job. They did exactly what I asked of them, and I couldn't ask for anything more. We was struggling with just me and my head. Like I can't remember the last time I was ever off this much. So that was the first round, first pass. We did get the win, and we moved on to round two.
Before we go into round two, a question was asked on one of the last videos, and I just want to touch on it because it kind of plays into this first pass a little bit. Someone had noticed that it seems to take you a little bit longer to get ready to stage on the line than some of the other cars. Is that a difference between nitrous and turbo, or is it just you doing safety checks from, making sure everything's good? You want to explain that a little bit to me?
It does take me a little longer because a lot of it is because of the nitrous thing. Like, everything's shut off whenever I do my burnout and I get ready. I don't open my valve until sometimes I'll open it while I'm waiting on my lineup guy to come up to pull me back or to guide me back. I'll open my ball valve. Other times I wait until I get all the way back. I open it, I check my pressure, purge, make sure my shifter's on, make sure the kits are on. I mean, there's a whole process that I have to go through, make sure that, my draggy's set, my straps are right. there's just so much to do. Whereas like with a turbo car, I think, because I've never actually, other than Jess's car, but I'm pretty sure like you hit the trans brake, build boost, do your burnout, you back up, you're ready to go. That's like I have no experience with a turbo car other than messing around with Jess's car, and there's no bumping or anything in her car. It don't have a bump box, so it's just build boost and go.
All right, second pass, bye run.
All right, round 2, we draw the bye. And it's a good damn thing. So I've made a good bit of changes to the fuel system to try to figure out why my fuel pressure is fluctuating a whole bunch. So each round I'm putting a plug in it and trying to read it. The first round, obviously, I didn't get a good reading because it was on the rev limiter most of the pass. Round 2, I got a bye run. Perfect time to do what I need to do and find out what I need to find out. Put a plug in it, get ready to go up, bottle, everything, draggy, got everything, pull up, go up, do the burnout, back up, it dies, or I do the burnout, and whenever I come to a stop, it dies. That one's new, it typically doesn't die. So I start it back up, go to leave, I leave, and it does a wheelie, I cut gas, get back in it, run it out all the way down. I would say probably about 300 feet, 250, 300 feet. I feel like something doesn't sound right, and it doesn't feel right. I still run it out, but it's like it's in my mind that something didn't seem right. I want to check the rockers and just go over the car because something wasn't right. So I coast down off the track, crew's coming down to get me, shut everything down, bleed the nitrous out of the line, get out. I didn't put the plug wire on. So with this, I learned, I was scared as shit that I hurt something. Got it back, checked it out. But I learned that being one cylinder down put me at a good power range to leave, because that was the best leave all night. So I tried to mimic that going into round 3. I tried to mimic that by pulling power out of it. We did check, pulled everything out, checked everything. Everything seemed good. There was no issues. So bye run down, plug wire off, no plug reading, still yet. We're going into round 3.
round 3.
Round 3. So this is going into round 3. We drew a turbo S10, pretty quick truck. I haven't gotten to really pay attention to it running, but I know it runs pretty good, I have heard. So we go up, everything's right. I can't even, like, I put the plug in it, I checked the plug wire, Jason checked the plug wires. Right before I went to leave, Brian run around, checked the plug wires. They realize that I'm not with it. There is no way that I'm going to be able to make sure everything's right by myself for whatever reason. I don't know if it was the atmosphere, the altitude, the moisture in the air. Fuck, I don't know. But I just wasn't with it. I couldn't think. So they're trying to do everything they can to double check anything that they know that I typically do or that they can think of. Draggy, plug wires, plugs, make sure the plugs are tight. I mean, just anything and everything. So we go up to run. I pull up, I do my burnout. Everything is, I guess, as normal can be for this night. But they did their job. I did mine. I'm ready to go. Windows foggy as shit. I can't see nothing. So, like, when Chris went to run back, I kind of just went off of a glare. I couldn't see him. I couldn't see if the light was on or off. I saw a glare of something, and I let off the button. I don't know what it was that I saw a glare off of. I win. The car, I did not take enough power out of it, as you can see. It spun pretty much 80% of the pass. We did get the win. I get down to the other end, shut the car off, coast off, drain the nitrous. And my crew comes down to bring me a plug and everything to pull that plug out because we now have a good pass to read something off of. And I'm like, did they call it a jump? Because they were all smiles. I'm like, did they call it a jump? And they're like, no, they called it clean. It's clean. And I'm like, sweet. So I'm happy. And we get up there and Liza's standing out in the middle and he's like, man, you know, you jumped. And I'm like, I was unsure because I didn't know what I went off of. I couldn't see, so that's cool. It is what it is. And he's like, you know, Chris has got the video if you want to go look at it. I'm like, if you guys called it a jump, it's a jump. He's like, I just want to let you know that he has the video if you want to look at it, if you want to see. Because I did ask how bad it was because I didn't know. And I got over to Chris and asked him how bad was it. And he was confused because they haven't made a final call yet. He had not made a final call. So after reviewing it, whatever the hell I went off of, it's the same frame. The light comes on and my tire moves. So it was a clean hit, but I guess you could say it was a guess. I don't even know what that was.
You were dead on the light.
I was dead on the light, but I don't know how, and it was not because I'm good. I went off of a glare that I saw. It was the only thing I could see out of the windshield. Once the car started moving, I don't know if it was the heat off of the engine, but as I made the pass, the windshield unfogged. So that's how that went. We got the win going into the finals of small tire. And we are against Mike Batroff.
Okay, final round.
Final round. Typically in the finals, you're going to add power. And I spun extremely bad on the semifinal round, so I had decided to take power out of it and try to get it to bite a hold and motivate, actually go somewhere. I did win the coin toss, so I got the lane that I wanted. Excuse me. I couldn't ask for anything more. Everything would, I mean, racing them in the finals is awesome. They're so easy to get along with. Gave me plenty of time to get the car turned around as I had just made a pass. Just so whenever you're ready, let him know. So we come up, get the routine, get the car, do burnout, back up, do everything, and Chris hits the light. I am now, excuse me again, sorry.
We had chili for dinner.
Yeah. Woohoo. At least it's coming out this way. So now, naturally, I'm going to be late. I'm going to make sure I see the light. I'm going to make sure that I don't jump. And he was on the light. Like, he was on it. I was off a little bit, so he got a little bit there. I didn't pull enough power out of it. The car still spun pretty good for a long way. And he had me by, what, a car and a half? Something like that. And I couldn't make the ground up. They've definitely got the car running good. Whoever he's got on his side is definitely propelled him. And he definitely puts the work in. So if I was going to lose to somebody there, I'm glad it was them. That's about the only way that I can put it. He's been, my phone's ringing, but he's been trying to beat me. We've raced several times and I've always beat him. It was his night, and congratulations to the Stripper Glitter team for getting the victory.
I think also, too, for putting on that race, because
yeah, absolutely,
they had to do a lot of work to dry that track out to get, the people
and
that
the Kuhnle crew, if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm not 100% how it's pronounced, but the crew, they had the torches out, the dryers. I mean, they had everything out trying to get it dried. It just poured like a monsoon. I pulled in, it started sprinkling. Within 10 minutes, it's almost like the place was floating. And they worked and worked and worked to get it dried.
The track is beautiful. The pit area is nice.
Yeah, they're definitely putting money into it. It's I can't wait to go back. It's a nice facility. Everybody was just so kind and happy and joyful. It was just a good place, good vibe, other than whatever was going on with me. I don't know.
We realized that probably routine is probably a thing that we need to kind of get the canopies up. We didn't do that this time.
There's a whole bunch of stuff we didn't do that we normally do.
This was the first race that you drove to by yourself in a while.
Yeah.
And the reason Mike wasn't there because he had family stuff. We're not losing crew members. It's just they had stuff to do.
Yeah, everybody's got lives that's with us. So.
And they can't always come with us every weekend, and that's understandable. We were grateful to have Jason and Brian there, and they got the job done. And
Absolutely.
They went over and beyond to double check everything you were doing wrong.
Yeah, I was a mess. I don't even know how or why. But also, a little bit of side talk here. Going into this week, like, my muscles is hurt real bad. Like, my knee hurts, my knee's messed up. It's like, I don't know what it is, but my head wasn't right, and now I'm just dead tired. So.
You didn't sleep well the night before either.
So I don't know if maybe, I may have got a virus or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what was going on, but I definitely wasn't thinking straight. So yeah, love the facility. Can't wait to go back. It is a little bit of a trip, and it's a tricky surface, and I called that out. I had several people ask me what I thought, and I felt like it was going to be tricky because it feels like you're just going to be able to pour the coals to it, and Like I had so much power pulled out of the car, I was afraid to pull any more out, but clearly I needed to unhook a plug wire for about the first 80 to 100 feet and then plug it back in or something. So
I heard you. I was on every button I had, bud. Yeah, every button. I'm in there playing the piano.
like I said, I only got one good pass. Like,
You do for your good pass?
I pulled a ton of power out of it. He jumped.
You want to contest it? We'll look at it. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, good shit, bud. You've had my number for a long time, dude. You've kicked my ass a lot. So I'm finally happy to get one under my belt. I was allowed to get it back. Yeah, dude, hey, if I wanted the finals, I'll anytime I can race you, it's first good day. I appreciate it.
It was like I was there, and it's like I started him up like it would start to bite, and I start to move up. And he's like, that or you got on another button,
I'm in there playing. I'm playing the piano in there.
It was right there.
I've never grabbed a scramble that fast and that fast. And it took it. So
That's good.
So, a little bit better this week, you think?
I have no idea.
You found nitrous.
Yeah, I've definitely got nitrous, a ton of it.
So we're good on that. More to come on information on that in the next video. And this weekend, this Saturday, we are headed to Michigan.
Yeah, we're planning on going back to Milan to try that backside out. Typically, and it's a lot of cars. There's a few people that can go down both lanes and be equally as fast. There's not very many people, at least in the past. So I haven't been able to. I've had to have different tune-ups for each lane. The left lane is considerably slower in my past with my experiences. And the right lane is a good bit faster. So we're going to go back and see how we do.
Everybody, you guys have been asking for us to come up there.
Yeah. Hopefully this car is a lot more consistent in both lanes, so I don't have to try to distinguish different tunes and all that stuff. I like to just be able to go and have an equal lane to race for and see how it goes. I haven't been on a surface like Milan for a while, or with this car. I don't think I have yet. Just like with Kuhnle, I've never been on a surface like that with the car, so realistically my third round was my first pass on it. And that's a big thing of trying to go to places just to get the car on the surfaces so I can try to figure out what it needs to do or what I need to do to get it to go down them. And it's going to take a while. So we've done extremely well, way better than I ever expected up to this point. But if we fall in the first round somewhere because I missed something, it's just part of it. That's about all you can do is go and try. And until I have experience with it, and I'm not even going to say data, but until I have experiences on the surfaces with this car and what it likes, I'm not going to know. It does carry a lot of the characteristics from the other car, it seems like, though. But there are some differences. Like the other car would go down extreme shit surfaces better than this one at this point. So I got to work towards those surfaces, I think. We got some changes coming in the near future, and you'll all see those as they happen.
We had an argument about the upcoming changes.
Yeah, one of them anyway. It would have already been done if it was up to me. You can't advance without trying different things and trying things, and I'm ready for this thing to take another step. And or maybe it'll be a step, but it might be a step back. We don't know until we try it. And she wants to leave it alone until I can make the changes and actually go somewhere and test rather than make the change and then go race. And I understand that to a point, but in the same aspect, she made me take it out to the very first race ever without testing. So
That's just to get your jitters out of the way. But I also tried to tell you about the wiring guy, and
Yeah.
I was right about that. But
100% you was right about that.
okay,
So,
there you go.
thanks again, Joey, for stepping in. And Caleb for introducing us.
Yeah. So we'll be in Michigan on Saturday. I think the gates open to spectators at noon. Chip draw is at 3 p.m. As long as the weather keeps looking like it is, that's where we'll be. Yes.
That's Jason calling and messaging, and that's the impatience of it right there.
Love you, Jason.
Hey, where you at? So yeah, I'll get back with you in a second. Yep, Milan, and we're gonna see how we do. I've had good experiences there, and I've had not so good ones. So hopefully we can go some rounds to get the experience and get something figured out with the car. But I mean, if not, no, it is what it is.
Just keep trying.
Yep, keep pushing forward.
See y'all soon.